Mr. Jack Berry. He was last year's recipient of the Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award. A warm welcome for Mr. Berry. Thank you.
I was fortunate to receive this award last year, a very weighty award, as the recipients will find out. And I feel honored that Kate Moore asked me to introduce this year's recipient of the Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award. It's named for W. Bruce Matthews, who graduated from Michigan State in 1926 with a degree in landscape architecture, which he turned into a Johnny Appleseed role, and he designed about half the golf courses in our state. And those that he didn't, his son Jerry and Bruce are trying to do the rest of them. It was fitting that Mr. Matthews was the first recipient of this award in 1996 when he was 92 years old. Since then, the Matthews Award has gone to Everett Kircher, Bill Howard, Darrell and Letha Scott, the Kapnick Insurance Company, Terry Moore, then McCafferty, Estelle Dull, the Michigan Turfgrass Foundation, the Boss Lady, Kate Moore, Ralph Risinger, Ron Otto, and then myself. The award is for Lifetime Achievement honorees. Half century of accomplishment definitely qualifies. It's the Buick Open and Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club. Purely a coincidence, Warwick Hills is a member of the MGCOA. John Dodge pointed that out. I don't want this to be an obituary because we are well aware of the economic forces that led to this year's Buick finale. I would rather we celebrate what Buick did for golf in Michigan, how it brought so many people to the game, how it sparked interest in young people, and that since records were kept beginning in 1982, quite a while after the first one, the Buick Open contributed more than $10 million to Southeast Michigan charities. And there is no other professional sport in this state who has done anything like that. The Buick started in 1958 when I was with the United Press Wire Service, and I was lucky to cover it in almost every one since. Back then it was up from Detroit on the Dixie Highway, long before freeways. Certainly the idea was to sell cars, but it wasn't just that. It was to bring the best golfers in the world to Michigan every year, a great summer event, and keep the admission and parking fees so low that everyone could attend. And that never changed. The Buick was people, volunteers who took vacation time to do all the work a major event requires. Fans who drove from every part of the state, from the Ohio line, and we got a lot from Toledo, and from Windsor, and all the way to the Upper Peninsula. It always was a great show, not a death march of bogeys and double bogeys like the National Open, but a festival of birdies and eagles and occasionally holes in one. The Buick changed championship golf. The first purse was $52,000, double the normal pot on the Pro Tour, and the best players flocked here. Billy Casper beat Arnold Palmer by one stroke to win the first Buick, and that set the par.
And so we've got Gene Bone, who was intimately involved in the Buick Open, played in the first one, played in several after. He was the golf professional at Warwick Hills. And Billy Casper won that. Tell us a little bit about that. There was a little rain there, and how was it to play there?
Well, the rain has been associated with the Buick Open for a couple of years there. But it was a tough playing, and in the pros found it. I had 284, 285 Billy had that year, but it wasn't very low. And they got better as the course got better. The scores got a little better too, but it was a difficult golf course. Like I said, it was 72-80 was the actual yardage on the scorecard, and they always made a point of that. I forgot about the 80. But it was a very difficult course and long, because you could hit that time the pros were hitting fairway woods into a number of the pros anyway into some of those par fours, because it was awful long.
I think 16 was over 600 yards at the time, and that was the longest hole. What do you remember what you hit there?
Well, I know I hit a couple of woods and then maybe a 9-iron or a wedge, so it was long enough for me, that's for sure. 600 yards was awful long at that time.
And what about your performance in that first Buick?
Well, I don't recall. I think I snuck in. I think I won a couple dollars, I think, or something. And if I remember right, $110 or something, Jack?
Well, let's see. It's $110, and you played with those in the years that you tied with Walter Berkamo, Gene Littler. There's two major championship winners, Johnny Pott, Paul Harney, who was a real good player. So that was a terrific field.
Sam Sneed played here. So did Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tommy Bolt, Charlie Sifford, and Ken Venturi. Major championship winners also won the Buick. Julius Boris, Jackie Burke, Art Wall, Champagne Tony Lima. That was nice. He did send champagne to Preston. Tom Weiskopf, Hale Irwin, Lanny Watkins, Ben Crenshaw, Fred Couples, Justin Leonard, and Jim Furyk. Tiger Woods won it 3 times, including this year's finale, and Vijay Singh was a three-time winner. Michigan Golf Hall of Fame members Dave Hill and Mike Suchak won the Buick. And the voices you hear on television every week played here. Nick Faldo, Gary McCord, Andy North, Roger Maltby, Peter Oosterhuis, and Paul Azinger, and all have good words to say about Warwick Hills and the Buick Open. Great players, great golf, and great memories, and for all of that, the Michigan Golf Course Owners Association is happy to present the Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award to the Buick Open in its home for 50 years, Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club. And accepting tonight are Rob Granger, the tournament director, Howard Foote and Ted Addington, who are members of the club and were co-chairman, volunteers, rounding up all those volunteers, and general manager Rich Fairman.
Thanks a lot, Jack. I'm just going to say a couple words on behalf of everybody with the tournament, everybody with General Motors and Buick Motor Division, and specifically our partners at Warwick Hills and all the volunteers. Really want to thank the association and the board for honoring the tournament in such a special way. I've been with the tournament for 10 years, which seems like a long time, but it was around 41 years before I arrived. And what I tell most people is it's really hard for me to mess anything up, because it had been around for such a long time. But the tournament's really a testament to the impact professional golf has on so many levels. Starting from the volunteers get the opportunity to work for the week, corporate sponsors who have a unique platform with which to do business, and the spectators. I mean, the Buick Open served as a flagship for professional golf in the state, allowing the great golf fans in Michigan to see some of the best players in all the world on an annual basis. But lastly, there's two real factors, and Jack touched on one of them, that really show the impact of the tournament and why it was so special to not only all of us here, but everybody who walked through the gates, and that is a tremendous local economic impact, not only Genesee County, but to all of the state of Michigan. And I'll say the number again, it was over $10 million since 1982 in charitable impact, which puts professional golf, and specifically the Buick Open, in some rarefied area. These guys behind me and everybody involved with the tournament, it was an extremely special, almost familial atmosphere to work on the tournament, and I think that the atmosphere specifically this year and all the years preceding this kind of shows the experience and what was created at Warwick Hills, and I'm certainly proud of the time I spent on the tournament, and again want to thank the association for honoring the tournament in such a special way on behalf of everybody involved. So thank you very much.